Greetings and welcome to part 10 of the Clarinet series. This is going through essential elements. We're going to be looking at the black belt for band karate right now. That is going to focus on numbers 169 to 181 in your book, starting on page 33. Okay, let's look at page 33. Right at the top, it talks about enharmonics. Okay, let's go to 169 first. Let's forget about that for a second. You have two notes, A flat and G sharp, and they're played the same. That's enharmonics. Okay, so what an enharmonic note is it's the same note, but they're called different things. Okay, so take like pop and soda. Pop is the same as soda, but they're called two different things. Okay, depends on where you live. We're going to call which one. The same with the notes. Depends on the song which one you're going to use. Look at the enharmonics box at the top of page 33. Here's a picture of a piano keyboard. So the white notes on the piano are all natural notes. The black notes are your sharps and your flats. Okay? Remember, the flat lowers the pitch a little bit. So find A on that, put your finger on it, and then go back to a black key. Go back to the black key right before it. Now find G, put your finger on G. Remember, sharp raises it by a little bit. So then you go up a black key. So when A goes back to a black key and G goes up to a black key, they meet. So it's the same sound. Okay? 169, you're using A flat and G sharp side key. So let's give this a whirl. Notice that your key signature is everything's natural, unless I tell you otherwise. So that means double pinky B. Called Close Encounters, has two more enharmonic tones, E flat, which you already know, and D sharp. Again, E flat, D sharp. They meet. So that's your D with the side key, using the side of your finger. 171, your key signature has F sharp in it. It's in 3/4, and then you're going to be using D sharp and E flat. 172, March Slob, is your first black belt song. It's largo in the tempo there. That stands for really, really slow, like a funeral dirge. You have 4/4 time signature, 4 beats in every measure. You start off forte, nice and loud. There are a lot of accidentals. Remember, an accidental are sharps, flats, or natural notes placed on a note that don't appear in the key signature. I will tell you right away, you're going to have some F naturals, you're going to have some F sharps, but all your E's in here are going to be marked E flat, especially that second to last note of the whole song underneath that second ending. The last note's a C, the note before it, that's also an E flat because that carries through the measure. A lot of kids forget that one, so don't forget it. I played more of an andante time there. I guess largo would probably be closer to. Between there is fine though. Let's look at number 173, Notes in Disguise. This one is using all those enharmonic notes that you've learned so far, just to kind of give you a bit of a finger twister to make you think about what you're learning. 174, you have another new note, F sharp. We already learned this note, right? F sharp is this. But there's an alternate fingering, meaning a different fingering for it that you can do. And if you take your F and you add not one, but two of the side keys, the two bottom side keys, you get an alternate F sharp. This is useful because if you need to go between F sharp and F natural and you're slurring, watch what happens. You hear the little blah in there? That's because you get a flip-flop. In slow motion, you're either going to get a G before switching notes, or you're going to get an E before switching notes. It gets a blip, is what we call that. So this makes it very smooth. I can't go like that with this. It just doesn't sound good, okay? So right above 174, it talks about chromatic notes. So chromatic notes are altered with sharps, flats, and natural signs which are not in the key signature. The smallest distance between two notes is a half step, and a scale made up of consecutive half steps is called a chromatic scale. Okay, if you're playing piano, it's playing all the keys, white, black, in order, okay? It's all the notes. Let me make a caveat. If you have an E flat, you're not going to have a D sharp because it's the same note. You don't repeat notes, but you have one of every single note. Okay, so look at the chromatic scale they have there in 174. Notice that they put a note on the F sharp where they want you to use that alternate fingering. Good. Turn the page with me to page 34 in your book. We're going to look at 175, the next black belt song. You have another alternate fingering for B natural. So it's your look in the picture. You've got your B flat, and then you've got this other little key right here. Okay, a little hot dog key in between the two circle keys. You're going to play that with your third finger. Without it. All right, and that again, the flip flop is something we don't want when we're slurring. It sounds better when you have that. Okay? All right, here is 175. Let me just say, you can use your regular F sharp in here. You don't have to use the alternate because you're not going from an F natural. There's no F naturals in here, okay? So you can use your regular F sharp in here. And it shows you where to use the B alternate fingering. So halfway through the second line, there it goes. Okay, so you can see where that's going to be. Here's the beginning. Make sure when notes are marked sharp, they carry through for the whole measure. It's a bit of a finger twister. Let's keep going. 179, American Patrol. Allegro, 4/4 time. Mezzo forte for the entire song. Lots of high notes in here. B naturals, double pinky Bs. And let's have a whirl. If you're feeling adventurous, you could swing the eighth notes and make it jazzy. When you swing, whenever you have two eighth notes next to each other, you make the first one a little longer. Here's what it'll sound like. it the first way, the second way doesn't matter, but it's fun either way. Your last black belt song is 181, Essential Elements Quiz Scale Counting Conquest. It's a B-flat concert scale, or your C scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B natural, C, and back down. So the notes aren't hard. The only thing is that you have to get the rhythm right. So it's very, very important that you get those dotted quarter notes, that you get those where it has the 8th note before the dotted quarter note. All those get the 8th rests in there. That's why it's the last black belt song, because the rhythm can be kind of tricky on this one. Notice that it's common time, 4/4 time, no dynamic markings, so you don't have to worry too much about volume control. So that is black belt. Congratulations, you're doing great. There's one more belt left in your book, and that's gold belt, which we'll look at in the next video lesson.